What's the biggest fear people have about retirement? Running out of money. No one wants to be a financial burden to their kids or anyone else, right? But here's the good news. There's a simple way to know when you're ready to retire, and it all comes down to understanding these three key numbers. Once you know these three numbers, you'll have peace of mind about when you'll be able to retire comfortably without having to worry about money. I'm Kerry Green, financial advisor and co-founder of Green Era Financial, and I'm here to help you to get the most out of life with your money. So what are these three key numbers you should know before retiring? First, you've got to know your expenses. Retirement isn't about some random numbers like $1 million or 12 times your salary. It's about how much you need to live the life you want in retirement. So what does your dream retirement look like? Are you traveling? Are you spending time with family, joining the country club? Whatever it is, that's where you start, because once you know what you want, then the next thing to do is to figure out how much it's going to cost. Now, there are two ways to calculate your expenses. The first is what we call the bottom-up approach, and this is where you grab a notepad or an Excel spreadsheet or something like that, and you go through each of your expenses and you list them out line by line and how much they're going to cost you. So this would be things like your mortgage, your groceries, your phone bill, Netflix, or whatever they are. Now, this method is extremely accurate, but it also takes quite a bit of time. So if you're looking for something quicker, the top-down approach works too. The way that the top-down approach works is we take a look at what your take-home pay is right now. So for example, you get paid every month, or maybe it's biweekly or weekly or whatever it is for you, and taxes get taken out and 401k contributions get taken out and your healthcare, etc. But what's that amount that actually hits your bank account each month? Now, that's the starting point. From there, what you do is you adjust for things that you may not have as expenses when it comes to retirement. For example, maybe your mortgage payment won't be there anymore by the time you retire because your house will be paid off. Or maybe right now you're saving $500 a month into an IRA and you're not going to be doing that in retirement. So you would adjust your expenses to remove that amount from your take-home pay. The second number that you need to know is your income in retirement. And no, I'm not talking about how much income you'll be taking from your portfolio. What I mean by this is your guaranteed income, such as Social Security or pensions, or maybe even rental income. For example, let's say you use the bottom-up approach or the top-down approach, and you worked out that your expenses in retirement are going to be about $7,000 a month. And then you go and you look at what's your guaranteed income going to be in retirement, and you figure out, well, I'm going to get $2,000 a month in Social Security and my spouse is going to get $2,000 a month in Social Security. So that would be $4,000 a month in guaranteed income, which leaves a $3,000 gap that you'll need to make up for from your portfolio or your savings, which leads us to the third number, how much you'll need to have saved up. And here's where the 4% rule comes in, which is just basically a general rule of thumb that says that you should be able to safely withdraw about 4% of your portfolio value each year, and your portfolio shouldn't run out of money in the next 30 years. Now, it's not a guaranteed method, it's just a general rule of thumb that people have been using for a very long time. So the way that we use this 4% rule is, let's say you need to fill that $3,000 gap. Well, the first thing we need to do is multiply that by 12, which gives us $36,000 for the year. That's the gap. Now, to generate $36,000 a year in income from your portfolio, we would use this 4% rule, do the math on it, 4% into that amount, you would need to have around $900,000 invested. But that's not thinking with taxes, and you always have to keep taxes in mind. If your portfolio is all in a Roth IRA, that $900,000 works perfectly because it's all tax-free. But if your portfolio is in a 401k or a traditional IRA, you'll need to account for taxes when withdrawing money. So let's say, for example, in retirement, you're in the 25% tax bracket, and so that's what we need to think with. Well, if you need $3,000 a month to fill that gap, then what you really need is to be withdrawing $4,000 a month, which would be $48,000 a year, which if we reverse engineer that 4% rule means you would need to have around $1.25 million invested. So once you've got that all figured out, right, you know your expenses, exactly what it's going to take to live the retirement that you want to live. 2, you know your income, your guaranteed income, and then what the shortfall may be that you have to fill up. 3, the amount that you need to have saved up in your portfolio in order to comfortably able to withdraw what you need to withdraw to be able to retire comfortably. Once you know those 3 things, you can then confidently plan on what it's going to take for you to really be able to retire comfortably, not have to worry about money anymore. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want more helpful tips on how you can retire comfortably. And once again, I'm Carrie Green, financial advisor and co-founder of Green Era Financial. And if you're interested in finding out how we help our clients to get the most out of life with their money, then visit us at greenerafinancial.com.